Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world, my beautiful viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. You know, we don't know what in 1 hour what can happen. Something somebody will say might change your life, or something more profound might save your life. I heard last year, I got a confirmation of somebody that really didn't want to go on living. And we did a forgiveness show. And he was flipping through the scenes. And then he come to the power hour. And that day, one particular gentleman mentioned something. And it took this beautiful young man the call, and he made a decision that he's not going to commit suicide that evening. And that took courage. And for me, when he connected with me to tell me what the show meant to him was truly extraordinary. I knew that day that I've wished that somebody's life can be saved through the show had come true. And he's the only one of many that have told me the Power Hour show have changed their lives forever. So I've got amazing guests, all from Australia, and they're going to come and share their wisdom and their brilliance today. And we're going to talk about courage. Just to stand up in the morning and to put one foot in front of the others takes courage. Do you know how many courage steps you're taking a day? I'm so excited for my guest. So before I bring my guest on, I would love to introduce my beautiful golden sponsor for the show. Her name is Nina Maglik, and she's going to tell you all about her amazing summit that she's going to have in March. And you are welcome to click on the show notes below, and you will be able to join for free. There's no cost to it. It's a 3-day summit, Healing Millions, and you are welcome to join. Not only will you be able to see her details and the era of new Healing Millions details, but you will also see my guest details. It's all in the show notes below, my beautiful viewers. Thank you for your time spending with us. We love you. Here we go.
Had a quiet moment that you knew you were meant to do more than just watch the world suffer. You look at what's happening around you and think there must be a better way to lead this world. And there is. A big shift is happening in how we heal, lead, and support the world. We are moving into a new era of global healing where healers are called to lead. If we want to have a better world, we need to heal what's unhealed inside of us. Because hurt people hurt, heal people heal. This is exactly why the New Era of Global Healing Summit exists. We are bringing together 35 speakers from all over the world, scientists, doctors, researchers, healers, and leaders, all in one place to share what actually works and what's coming next. Inside this summit, you will understand where healing and the world is heading and how to prepare for it. Learn practical tools to feel more grounded, safer in your body and calm no matter what's happening around you. And that feeling that you had, that quiet sense that must be a better way, the pull to step forward instead of staying in the background, that's your soul reminding you who you're meant to be and inviting you to step forward into it. This is the new era of global healing. Come and join us now.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you, my beautiful Nina, for being my golden sponsor. And my beautiful viewers, guess what? My guest is in the house. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you so much, Nita and beautiful Paul, for joining. I do have my glasses here. So you must just tell something miracle and profound, and then I will produce the glasses. I've got my big glasses as well. And I just had to bring in one glasses. So if there's something that I need to use my alien glasses, I will definitely be using it. So my beautiful viewers, do you have your glasses? Are you ready for some goosebumps moments? I am going to ask a beautiful Paul to start us off and tell us, Paul, introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and tell us what does courage mean for you.
Hi, everybody. Paul Bolton here. I'm in Australia in the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, beautiful part of the world. My day job is I'm a professional psychic and intuitive, and I do readings and I do therapy, and I have clients all around the world. And my partner and I wrote a beautiful book last year with the training that I've done, which is called Helping Children Rise and Shine, and it's to train teachers, parents, teachers, and caring adults to learn the tapping process I do. And there's 60 statements in the book, so when the child, it's aimed at children between 5 and 12 when they come home from school. And they're a bit mangled, then you can find the right statement and insert the statement into the tapping guide and sit across the table. And within 20 minutes, you can help reset the child's head-heart balance, bring their courage back, and then that'll bring the clarity they need to just reset so that their mind doesn't get off the chain and turns them into a massive spiral of damage and downturn. So anyway, that's probably a bit long-winded, but that's me.
Thank you. And tell us what courage means for you, my beautiful Paul.
Well, yeah, indeed, as you said in the pre-chat, courage is a natural thing for me. Every day I wake up and sit there with my coffee at sunrise. It's an opportunity just to excel, to stay focused on what my goals are and all of the things in our in basket to achieve, and to not allow the mind here to sabotage or derail me. It's about focus. It's staying on track.
Well, thank you, Paul. So we're going to talk a little bit about the tapping because we had an amazing masterclass with you last week. And that will be on the show, my beautiful viewers. You will be able to view beautiful Paul's masterclass as well. So the link will be down below in the show notes, and you can go and enjoy this masterful, amazing, out of this world masterclass. So we're going to talk about it. So thank you, my beautiful Paul. So my beautiful viewers, Neta's microphone is a little bit itchy. So we're going to manage it. We're going to manage it. So my beautiful Neta, thank you so much for your wisdom. Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and tell us what courage means for you.
Hello, I'm Nita White from Perth in Western Australia. Welcome, welcome. It's an honour to be here. Courage for me. I kind of want to start a bit differently because when people hear the word courage, they actually often imagine something quite dramatic, but it actually isn't. So they think it's something like climbing a mountain or leaving a job or starting a company or becoming confident. But in actual fact, it's not that. In real life, courage rarely looks like a highlight reel. And sometimes courage looks like just getting out of bed. Sometimes it really does look like just getting out of bed, you know. When your heart feels heavy, or when there's been grief or something else has happened, and courage for me is holding your composure while your world actually looks or feels like it's falling apart behind the scenes. And sometimes courage is simply just continuing to love someone when things have occurred. So courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting in the presence of fear. And comfort never occupied the same space as growth. And that is not, comfort isn't where your future lives. And courage begins in a place very much where people don't expect. And it is in your truth. It begins in your own truth, looking at yourself and your truth. Thank you.
Wow, beautiful said. I'm telling you, I think you've answered one of my questions that I have as well. Thank you, my beautiful Neta. Thank you. My beautiful Julie, will you please introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from and what courage means for you.
Ballarat, Victoria, in Australia. I am so honoured to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Courage. Well, to me today, courage was showing up for the show. This is cementing what has been now an 8-year journey, stepping into my 9th year, of discovering and reconnecting with who I should have always been. And I feel like that for me is courage. People spend their lives living unnecessarily with, not understanding that they are a combination of all of the things they are to all of the people in their world. And sometimes that becomes more than just parts of who we are. Sometimes it becomes who we are. And I think when we can, sometimes life really can shake that up and take you away from those things, and you have to really reevaluate who you are when you're not mum, when you're not the best friend, when you're not the partner, when you're not the businesswoman or the writer. Who are you when it's quiet? Who are you when you're down and you have nothing left and you're empty? Who are you in those spaces, right? In the darkness? Because I feel like for me, courage was learning to accept my dark spaces as part of who I am in order for me to become whole. And now I lead with that in mind, with helping people to become whole by accepting those spaces inside of them.
Oh, Julie! Wow, my beautiful girl. Exactly, Paul. I need to put on this. Paul, keep it on. I'm going to quickly take a photo. Wow. That was profound. Thank you, my beautiful one. I realized that a lot of people is running away from the shadow parts. So I loved it. Thank you. So my beautiful ones, I'm going to start with beautiful questions. Some of them will be pertaining to all of you, and then some of them will be individually for you specific, but I will mention that as well. So my beautiful, I'm going to quickly go to Paul. How do you move forward when doubt is loud, when there is so many things that is holding you back? Because you mentioned in your intro that especially when I'm not talking about the children, but as a parent, you can see your children, your child is struggling, and now they want to use your tapping method, and then will it work? When doubt comes, what do you do? What will you suggest? And give the viewers some tips, please.
I'd like to show my book then at this point, just to
Yes, please.
So let me just do that so I can get it on the screen. So this, I've been working in this field for over 20 years on thousands of adults mainly. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, we were noticing how much in the press in Australia the issues around bullying were coming up, and you know, all of us would have experienced bullying in our growing up years. It was normal in Australia and other countries for sure. So and in my era, which is back there a bit, you know, you were lucky to get a glass of milk and a ginger nut biscuit if you came home mangled. So, but nowadays the parents hopefully can be a lot more sensitive and aware. And firstly, it's taking the child seriously and being able to discern what was the truth about what happened at their school or in that situation, because these days the laws are very much different in terms of what even schools are allowed to ignore or not treat seriously. So it's all getting revved right up. So this is why we put this together. It took 5 years and 9 versions before you get to see this beautiful product here. And but that's the nature of courage, just keep going, because you know, we did this because we wanted it to help parents everywhere around the world, because you know, we've been in the situation of the scared children. We've been in the situation of the confused parent, not knowing what to do. And so we wanted to produce something that had the instructions and the statements to insert, 60 plus statements in there, 13 categories to select from, because people need all the help they can get. Life's busy enough without trying to book your child in for a child psychology appointment or something like that most families couldn't afford anyway. So our goal is a simple, practical way of turning up and building, because what that does for the child is it gives them an extra boost to know that mum or dad can do this and help them in their home. And they're going to think mum and dad are even more cooler than ever and more wonderful than ever because they've been able to help in that way.
Wow. Thank you, my beautiful Paul. So, Nino, Nito, I'm going to ask you the following question. What was the derivative moment where you choose courage above comfort?
I think the derivative moment where I chose courage above comfort was that I realized that I was resisting reality a few years ago. I was literally resisting my reality, and I was also not being truthful with myself. And I think that, you know, neuroscience shows that the brain's primary function, unless you retrain it, is survival. And I realized that I was in survival mode. And the mind, I think the mind definitely strives to keep us inside that familiar emotional patterns. And even the painful ones become familiar and we feel like we're safe. So, like I said before, comfort just never occupied the same space as growth. And when we stay, it's recognizing the reality. When we stay in situations too long and we hang on to roles that we have totally outgrown, and it's being awake enough to actually, you know that we're hanging on to something that no longer serves us. There comes a point when it's just those identities are just no longer true. So I realized that, and I just stopped resisting reality and looked inside of myself and had some very, very, very honest, powerful talks with inner self.
Wow. Did you see I brought the alien glasses out? It was profound. It was profound. Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful Netta. Thank you. Thank you. My beautiful Julie, my question to you is, what does courage look like in leadership today?
For me, I think courage is empathy. First and foremost, it's not expecting people to do what you are not willing to do yourself. It is being able to hold space for the people that you lead whilst not losing yourself in amongst all that noise, not allowing your ego to drive, allowing your purpose to be the reason that you do what you do. I feel that if you're truly aligned to who you are, and I'm feeling this so deeply for myself recently, that your mission, your purpose, it is unshakable. The way that you move embodies everything, every part of that, because it's in every single cell of who you are. Once you hit that point, you are literally saturated by your own vision, and you can't not be the right way with the people that you meet, with the people that you lead, with the people that you help, with the people you serve, right? Like, it's because for me, I know what it is to not have the right people serve me. They weren't serving me, they were serving themselves. And I think, and that was a hard lesson. And I think recognizing that when you serve somebody else, it really has to come from a place of true service. Not that thing we tell ourselves is service, but it's actually self-service. And I feel like there's a lot of that around. So I genuinely wanted to ensure that when I moved into something like this, when I started writing, when I started sharing, that I was doing it from my most raw, most authentic, most aligned space. It hasn't always been easy, but it's a challenge is good for us. So, you know.
I love that. I love that you say that you are serving with love. That is one of my biggest thing in the world. When I wanted to have an amazing group of women that can serve each other with love in good times and in hardship times. I could never imagine almost 5 years ago the Diamond Beauties is going to turn out such an amazing group of ladies. I knew there was beautiful ladies around the world, but I never knew how incredible we can be with each other with love. And then 2 years ago, the Tanzanite Euros, the men's group, I created the men's group. And men, you don't talk a lot on the men's group, but there is still, when you come to the shows, you bring your beautiful energy, your love energy to change love and, empower people around the world. So for me, I love both men and women. And yes, I didn't make the decision to put the two groups together, but I loved to serve the two groups with so much love. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for the glasses, Julie. I love it. I love it. So this next question is going to be for all of you, but I am going to start with beautiful Paul. So my beautiful Paul, let me just get my question. What is the one hard decision you made to completely change your trajectory?
I love a specific question, Sanet. Yeah, that's a bit out there, isn't it? Can I have the question again, please?
What, just give me 1 second. What is one hard decision you made to completely change your life?
Probably, this is really topical for me right now. I'm writing a little section of my life really much about this topic anyway, which was probably one of the most significant things for me in my life was when my relationship with my children's mother ended, and my daughter was 3 and my son was 1.5, and I got told I was no longer welcome in the home or the family. So at that moment, there could have been a decision from me that said, okay, well, I'm just going to be like so many other guys and just go my own way and whatever. But that's not what I decided to do or wanted to do, because the children were innocent. So the courage for me at the time was to go, despite the harassment and the anger and the resentment I'm going to get, I'm going to see my kids every weekend. And I did for 15 years. At times when their mother would scream at me, and I had long hair back in the day, and I remember getting my ponytail just about ripped off my head at different times because she didn't want me around. She just wanted the kids for herself. And I said, well, they're my kids and I have a right to access them. And so courage for me really, my life really turned at that point. That was about 2001. And it was like a line in the sand that went, I'm not going to withdraw from speaking up. I'm not going to stand my ground. I'm not going to, lie or not live my truth. And so courage was anchoring into that. And now my daughter's 30 and my son's 27, and he's bigger than me and stronger than me and all this sort of stuff. But boy, have they got some integrity about them. They have got massive amount of courage, because I made sure that when they were with me, that's what they got: pure honesty, pure courage. Not always the best decisions, but that's life. But they had an understanding what good and bad meant. So courage is following through when it's scary and life-threatening at times. The little detail I left out of there was, at the time I was forced out of that home, I developed pneumonia, and I was coughing up liters of fluid off my lungs. And my daughter said to me, "Are you going back to God, Dad?" She was only 3. And I said, "No, honey, I'm not going back to God, but I can't stay in this house any longer, but I'll see you and your brother every weekend." So that's what courage is about. It's turning up for people that really matter and giving them the best chance with our big, strong hearts,
Wow.
You did ask, so you got an answer.
I've got tears in my eyes, my beautiful one, because I have spoken to you quite a few times. I never know the story and how incredible. There is so many, especially here in South Africa as well, how many people that is growing up, children growing up without a man in their life.
Yeah.
So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for taking that and making sure your amazing kids knows they have an amazing father. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, my beautiful Anita, your turn, my beautiful one.
Can you
Your
repeat the
question
question?
is the same question.
Can you repeat the question, please, Sanet?
What is your hardest decision you made to completely change your life?
I think for me, my hardest thing, and when the true realization came, was when I became a single mum, and I didn't have any skills. I had been a nurtured woman. I was very, very naive, And I had to really do a lot of soul searching. And I realized that in many ways, I was really quite incompetent for the world. And I had to learn the deepest, and it was facing that. I couldn't even read a sat nav. And there I had 2 dogs, a cat, 2 12-year-old girls, and I had a 4,000 kilometer drive ahead of me. And I think that was when I really faced the parts of myself that I hadn't been honest enough to face. And then I think a bit later down the track, because it did take me 5 years really to actually face, and I learnt in that time that if I didn't own and love all parts of myself, that I would never be whole again. You know, even the parts that I didn't like to start with, you know, the parts that I didn't love, I literally had to learn to face those parts, to equilibrate those parts. And I think the other thing was that I was on burnout. I was on adrenaline burnout. Like, you know, I worked, and I was so burnt out that I actually did have adrenaline fatigue, and again had to turn and face myself and ask myself powerful questions as to how I was going to you know, the reality of things, and how I was going to upgrade my identity from who I was then to who I was becoming and to who I am today. And I would never look back. I am just so proud of myself. I mean, the other thing that I really want to add is, and I know Julie is going to laugh her head off at me, I didn't know how to turn a computer on. And yeah, that's the truth. Like 4 years ago, I didn't know how to turn a computer on. And that took a lot of courage and a lot of realization that that knowledge is profound. Knowledge is where happiness lies. So it was the learning curve. It took so much courage. And yes, you can laugh, Jules. It took so much courage to learn the technology. Just so much courage, and I'm just full of gratitude, just so full of gratitude, true gratitude for the journey that ensued after that to where I am right now today, and the woman that I'm becoming. And I hope that serves someone, because honestly, love is the only way.
You are so right, my beautiful Netta. Love is the only way. And when I met you, you have blown me away. And then I've learned how many women, especially women, have you changed over your time that you are doing what you are doing. We're going to hear about it in a few seconds. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking the courage. And for me as well, when I started this, I call it my love business, and that was almost 6 years ago. I changed my life, but almost 5 years ago, wanted to bring in love into a community. My son used to say to me, Ma, and I was not that I was technical disabled. I was very technical, but work-related technical, because I was in corporate all my life, but not YouTube-related, all this funny children business that the children knows that they can just pick it up. And the other day I was coding on my website, and he told me, "Yo, Ma, you know more than me." So I'm very able to do a lot, but it also, I love to learn. I love to grow and learn new things. So I love that, Netta. Thank you, thank you. So Julie, thank you, Paul. I love it. So my beautiful, oh no, thank you, Julie. So my question, this is going to be the same question for you, my beautiful Julie. Let me just repeat the question. What was the one hardest decision you made to completely change your life?
If you had asked, if this had been a show a month ago, my answer would have been something along the lines of choosing to leave Western Australia, everything I knew, everyone I knew, and cross the country to complete uncertainty and restart my life for the actual purpose of becoming who I was really meant to be and shedding the things I couldn't shed when I was still there. Like, family violence is an addiction, and the stuff you get stuck in, the cycles that I couldn't seem to get out of when I was over there. So if you had asked me that a month ago, I would have said it was moving across the country. In this last month, I actually believe that the most courageous, or the most courageous decision I've made to be where I am now is actually to do and face the truths. Like Netta was just talking about the truths of who you are. Like I resonate so deeply with that. It was that I'd left all of the things behind. I'm not the same woman I was 8 years ago, but in my soul, I was still surviving. I wasn't free. I hadn't let go. I still wasn't at ease, and I had never experienced that sensation. So I only just realized just a little time ago what it actually really means for me to feel truly free, truly open and able to receive and give exactly in the ways that I wanted to. And I thought I was courageous before. I thought I had courage before, but it changed something in me when I had that calm come inside me, that sense. For the first 5 days, I didn't know what it was. I was uncomfortable and it felt very unfamiliar. And then I noticed I worked out that it was peace. It was not being in fight or flight. And it hadn't happened to me in 44 years. And it was magic. And it was the most amazing feeling. And I want to give it to the world in as many ways as I can from this day till the end of my days.
Wow. I had to look for the B glasses. I had to go and look for the B glasses. Wow. My beautiful one, that feeling that you have is so profound. It's so liberated. It's like you really cannot describe it, but when you describe it now, I have experienced that as well. And for me, I'm almost like shivering because it's so profound. If you get to that stage, you don't have the words, but you can actually breathe. It's like the heaviness on your chest is gone, and you can literally go up with your hands and say, yes.
Like the feeling in the extremities of your body finally come back, It's like you feel your fingers. I felt my fingers in a whole new way. And I know that maybe that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but they had been like an electric fence to a cow. They were the edge of everything that could hurt me. And suddenly now they are filled with a curiosity, and I touch things and it feels different. It feels new. And I am seeing the world in ways that I did never even imagine, you know. So all those years, 8 years, I thought I had broken free of those chains. I thought that I had already gained so much. And I had. I really had. I had changed my life in so many ways, but not in the ways that really change who you are.
It is beautiful. So, my beautiful viewers, I know that you will have founded wisdom and brilliance and all of these amazing stories. So, please remember you can connect with all of my guests down below. So, I've got a very fancy mouse. It looks like a Star Trooper mouse, all lighting up. Just click on them, your mouse, and go down. But my mom is on Roku TV. She's in Dallas, Texas, and she takes a remote and she's struggling with her fingers, and she goes down and she does cannot type for us, but she gives us a 5-star with all the shows. So please go down below in the show notes and then go and view my my beautiful guest elevator pitch, and then how to connect with them. And please book a coffee chat, buy beautiful Paul's book, and you will also be able to see beautiful Paul's masterclass. So, my beautiful ones, we are almost finished with the show. You've got 2 minutes to tell us, what are you doing to serve the world, and how can people connect with you as well? And then I will bring out the paparazzi pen. So, Paul, can you please tell us, how are you serving the world, my beautiful one?
Well, thanks, Sanet. My, as mentioned, my day job, I'm a psychic empath. So wherever you are on the planet, I can feel where you're at. I can sense what's going on for your personal life and the reality and the people in it, and what if there's any agendas that are going on that may be impacting on you that you're not aware of. Um, Also, stuck issues that may be impacting on you as well. The processing that I do helps reduce the noise in the head, and it boosts the heart. Courage lives in the heart, and so when we have a strong heart, we can accomplish anything. And that's what I love helping people achieve, is a strong heart and a quiet head, and they can have a really quality life. So you've got my details there. Look into the website. Be happy to work with you.
Thank you, my beautiful Paul. And then, my beautiful Netta, can you please tell us, how are you serving the world?
I'm serving the world first and foremost with love, and then I encourage value. I encourage profound knowledge, and my absolute passion is health and well-being. But people will probably just think health and well-being, oh, that's something holistic. But in my world, it's not just the holistic. In my world, it's emotional well-being, it's spiritual well-being, and I show my audience, I show people, I serve people in a way that shows them, you know, on my social media platforms, you know, how to actually love themselves emotionally, physically, because the physical body, she is an empress. She's an empress. She's something to be worshipped, the physical body, but so is the mind. And I show people how they can improve their emotional well-being, how they can improve their health, their physical health, and what steps they could take to feel in a state of flow. Because to me, energetic frequency, a state of flow is just everything. But there's work behind that. You know, for me, I am very, very passionate about hydrogen-rich water. I'm super, super passionate about organic food. I'm not 100% organic. I'm about 80 to 85% organic. And I love speaking to people. That's my genius. Thank you so, so much. I'm absolutely honoured to be on here with you, Julie, and Paul, you are amazing, both of you. Thank you so much. And Sanet, what can I say? Thank you. I'm so honoured.
Oh, thank you, my beautiful Netta. And then also thank you, Netta and Paul, for being one of my Slim Soul members. Thank you for supporting the Power Hour. So I really appreciate the two of you tremendously. Thank you. My beautiful Julie, please tell people how you're serving the world and how can they connect with you.
Right now, I have been sharing my journey in words. I have a series of poetry that will be going to the publishers later this year, and I have a memoir that is currently at the publishers and should be released this year. The series of poetry looks like it'll be releasing in 2027. It's called Seasons of an Australian Woman's Soul, and it is 5 books deep. The memoir is called If I Knew, One Australian Woman's Journey from Trauma to Truth. And it's a very personal journey, a very visceral look at what it is to move through trauma, addiction, family violence, and to come out the other side with something more than just wreckage. So if anything, something even better than you thought you had before, clarity perhaps, and a deeper sense of self. I am in the interim creating digital products and programs that support everybody in between crisis and the professional teams that they can meet. So these programs are designed by myself, born in the fires of lived experience, and they come to people just full of heart, because all I really want is for people to find who they truly are so that they can honestly live in the most aligned and best version of themselves. Now, these things that I'm doing, the books, the products, half of everything that comes from them will go to my biggest dream, which is the creation of an interim space for families to go after massive trauma and transition, called Dandelion Farm, House of Bloom. This space will give families time to reconnect on the land, with the land, and with practices that allow them to direct their own healing as a unit, which is often overlooked. They just throw them back into the water and expect it all to happen. And it just doesn't work like that. So that's my ultimate dream.
That's beautiful. Thank you. While your mic is on, can you please tell us what is your golden nugget?
Be the light that you always needed.
Wow, beautiful. Are you ready for paparazzi? Here we go. Thank you, my beautiful Julie. So, my beautiful Netta, I am going to come to you. Please share us what is your golden nugget?
It's really simple. It's love. That's my golden nugget. Just love and gratitude.
I love it. Are you ready for paparazzi? Here we go. Wow. Thank you, my beautiful Netta. Paul, let me just unmute you. Here you go. What is your golden nugget?
On the theme of the show, know that deep down inside you, you will have the courage. You do have the courage. Take a deep breath and feel the fear and do it anyway. And prioritize the future you want to be a part of. And to do that it takes courage.
Wow. Thank you, Paul. Are you ready for paparazzi? Here we go. Wow, thank you, my beautiful guests, for this amazing show. Thank you for all your wisdom, my beautiful viewers, that you love our show. Our show was truly spectacular. And as a newly member in our group, thank you, Netta, for inviting Julie to our group. I had the honor to have a coffee chat with you. Thank you for bringing your wisdom and your beautiful love knowledge to our community on E360. My beautiful viewers, are you ready to have a dance with us? So we've got the glasses. Do you have your glasses? I'm going to go down and put the music on. So are you ready, my guest? Are you ready to have a dance with us? Here we go.